Today on Divorce Court.
I'm in court today because I love my girlfriend Serenity, but I think she's cheating, and I sometimes think there might be some prostitution going on.
He's really verbally abusive, and he's constantly calling me out of my name, like, all the time.
I want the judge to tell Serenity that this can work and to try to give me a shot.
I would like the judge to tell Drew that he needs to be more respectful to women.
Serenity, I want you to realize that I love you with all my heart, and I want you to try to make this work like I'm trying to make it work.
Divorce Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Lynn Toller presiding.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here today with Drew Frazier and Serenity Grimes. I read your paperwork. It took me on quite a roller coaster ride, so I'm going to get right to it. You have 2 children together, and both of you have a child from a previous relationship. Mr. Frazier, tell me, why are we here today?
I'm here today because I love Serenity. I want to marry her, but there's a lot of issues that's kind of blocking me, and I need to get them out the way before I can move forward with it.
Give me a little history.
First off, I think there's infidelity involved in this relationship. Say, for instance, one day I was coming home from work, stopped by the liquor store, called her and asked, do you want something from the store? She lies and says that she's with her friend. 5 minutes later, she calls me back and lets me know, I gotta tell you the truth, I'm actually with some other guy. I'm looking like, wow, are you serious? So I kind of like just chopped that up and then just went to my friend's house and got drunk a little bit and just lived life. Then a second situation, I feel like she was cheating. She out all night. Come home about 9 o'clock in the morning, and the passenger seat of the car is linked all the way back with all kinds of mud on the floor right there. I'm like, hey, what's going on?
In the car?
Yeah, she was like, I don't know why that dude always gets mud on his feet.
Ms. Grimes, did you care to respond to those stories?
The second one was a lie. But the first one, I did call back because I felt bad. And we weren't really together at the time. We took breaks on and off within our 9-year relationship. And I called him because I felt bad because I was out with a different person.
With a different guy?
Yeah.
Why is that second story he told me a lie?
Because, for one, the mud in the car situation, I did not tell him it was the guy had mud on his feet. What I told him was we were at the View. I had got mud on my feet. I sat down in the passenger seat so I could rinse my feet off, and I did not tell him that it was somebody else's.
Yeah,
Was there somebody else in the car with you, however?
Nobody else was in the car. I went up there to meet friends.
Okay. Mr. Frazier, you believe that she has engaged in sexual acts for money throughout the course of your relationship. Could you give me a couple of examples why you believe that's the case?
Say, for instance, she's very honest with me, and I'm very honest with her. She let me know that she met some African man at Walmart, and they started talking, and she explained to him that she was having hard financial times. So I guess he has some type of situation where he could basically help her out with some money. But after a while, she was having sex with the guy. I found out because I seen it on her phone, because she had broke down one day talking about, I can't get no because my car broke down. And she was on her way to that guy's house.
Ms. Grimes, did that occur?
Okay, the African guy, yes, I do have an African friend that was helping me financially, but the part about not getting because my car broke down, that's not true.
But were you having sex with this guy?
After a while, not at the beginning, but after he was helping me a while, then I was just like, well, we're friends and, we're not together.
When you have a friend, you go to the movies, you go to lunch, you go to the mall, you don't go to bed. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
I understand.
Do you have any other exchange sex for money stories?
Okay, there's an online site. It's known for basically sex, it's a sex site.
Right.
And I was on there, and I seen her picture on there. She had a profile, and she was trying to make it happen.
Did you have a profile on a site for which people use hookups for money?
No. I don't know where he got that information from.
You had a green dress
I had a friend. I
remember.
Friend.
She had her butt out.
With the green dress?
It was her. Huh?
He's got your dress. He's got how you were posed. Just go on and give it up. Tell it to me.
Okay, for one, he got that because I have a friend that well, she's not even my friend. I used to be friends with her, and she does that. She's into the prostitution thing. The picture he's seen on my phone, he's trying to say he's seen it on the sex site, but he did not see it on the sex site. He's seen it on my phone.
Okay, what about the $80 that you said somebody gave you to have lunch with them?
Okay, what about the...
$80 for lunch?
What about the $80? What about the $80 for lunch? Tell me about
I went
that.
to lunch with a friend, and they helped me because I have financial situations sometimes. And I tell my friends I need help, and they'll help me just like I would do the
sex.
same for them.
Okay.
And it's not for sex.
One last story. What about the condoms?
Okay, I'm going through the drawer. I'm looking for something. I find 3 condoms, 2 strawberry, 1 grape. I confront her about these flavored condoms, because we don't use condoms. She's talking about, oh, the store across the street sells them individually like that. I go to the store and try to get me some individual condoms. They's like, no, those are sold in 3-packs, sir. So there's 2 missing. No, there's actually 3 of them missing. And she used 2 grape ones and 1 strawberry.
Your response to that, Ms. Grimes?
That story, for one, I only had 1 pack of condoms, so he's adding like extra
It was 2
condoms.
flavors.
Okay, well, 1 pack of condoms, but you weren't using condoms. What were you doing with them?
I just had them just in case because we weren't together, and sometimes I do use sex casually, but I just had them.
What about the text you found?
I have found a text message. She was talking to one of her friends, talking about, I don't know why all these guys trying to get me caught up. Everybody keeps taking off the condoms. Everybody keeps. Come on now.
Can you respond to that?
He's lying about that.
okay.
He is lying. He's never seen that.
Yeah. But let me ask you this. You did say out of your own mouth, I do use sex casually. So you keep condoms on you because you might fall into a casual encounter. Is that accurate?
Sometimes when we're not together, yes.
Do you worry about guys stealthing on you? That's what that's called, you know. That's what, when they slip off the condom because they don't want to use it. Were you concerned about that at some point?
No, I wasn't concerned about that because I always make sure they're using condoms. That's just what I do.
Okay. We've talked about you quite enough.
I know.
And so the next thing I want to do is talk to you because you say he's verbally abusive.
I was living at his house. He's like, you stupid fat bitch, you need to get that baby and get out. He shuts off the power on that side of the house that I'm there with my newborn baby. And then what, he wants me to not go somewhere else?
Ms. Grimes, you say he's verbally abusive to you. Give me some examples of what the things that he says.
Okay, like one time I came home from work. I get off at 2 a.m. because I work a night job. And as soon as I walk in, I'd literally change my clothes. And he's like, you stupid fat bitch, you're so annoying. And I was just like, why are you even mad? He gets up and storms out and goes into the other room.
Did you do that, Mr. Frazier?
This is the scenario with my verbal abuse when it comes towards her. Because I do not believe in putting my hands on a woman, period. And there's so much frustration. She hurts me so bad. Only sometimes I feel like I could respond to her and hurt her back as verbally assaulting her. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And that day she came home from work, she was about 45 minutes to an hour late.
Were you afraid that she was out there doing something wrong? I mean, anybody can be late from work. I mean, you could stop by and got a burger or something. I mean, things happen. What did you think she was doing in that 45 minutes to an hour?
I think she's been having an affair. I know that she's been talking to some other guys. And I explained to her, like, when you having sex with people, especially women, you guys are very emotional creatures. So after you start having sex with this dude, you're going to start getting feelings. And she basically explained to me, like, she's not catching no feelings, but then you're constantly buying this guy's stuff and always got to buy the condoms. I just found some condoms in her purse 2 days ago.
Did you two have a rational conversation about the sex you're having with another guy and his sole concern was catching feelings for the guy?
No, that is not true.
You never had a conversation anywhere along those lines. Sounds pretty credible to me.
We have conversations about, what we do during our break times because we have, like...
How often do you break, and what do you consider a break?
We break pretty often. I say, like, every month or so, and and we have a agreement that we're not together. We'll discuss like, okay, it's not working right now. It's just too much for both of us, and
It's a break, and everybody can do as you please on a break.
basically.
There is no such thing in a committed relationship as a break. All it is things aren't going right now, so I want to go sleep with somebody else and have some fun, and then when I get over what I'm mad about, I'll come back. The concept of a break is absurd and ridiculous, and it's killing us as a community. Just killing us. You got to be an adult. You've got kids, right?
Yes.
You got
two.
two.
Mm-hmm. But see, that's the thing, though.
You never have your kids.
Our relationship is kind of complicated because we're together, but not really together. Because the first 4 years, he was verbally bashing me on a daily basis, a constant thing, calling me out of my name all the time, making me feel less than a woman. And then he expects me to want to stay with him and think that I wouldn't go somewhere else?
Give me some of the things he was saying and doing.
Like, for one, when I first had my son Shinazar, I was living at his house. He's like, "You stupid fat bitch, you need to get that baby and get out." He shuts off the power on that side of the house that I'm there with my newborn baby. And then what? He wants me to not go somewhere else?
Mr. Frazier, do you call her those names, throw her, and turn off the power on the side of the house where her infant is?
Yes, but it's not exactly how she explained it.
Well, you tell me how it is.
You know what I mean? It's basically, yeah, I did. It wasn't like, I can't explain, I did it. No, I'm just gonna keep it real. I did. I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. But I knew that the baby was safe. You know what I mean? I put the baby in the hallway right by the kitchen where I was at. And that's when I turned off the lights in the room where she was at.
She said, "Baby's in the hallway."
Oh.
Oh, man. Have you been, well, I want to talk about the verbal abuse because everybody says, well, I don't want to hit her, so I verbally abuse her as if that's better. It's different, but it's still abuse, and I want to talk about it.
He found out I was sleeping with a friend of his friend. He just came up to me and he's like, "I know you're out there being a whore."
Did that happen? How would you react if your partner constantly called you vicious names? Tell us what you think at Divorce Court. How often is he verbally abusive to you? And is it at certain times during arguments, or is it a daily occurrence?
It's honestly a daily occurrence, and I noticed it got worse when he found out I was sleeping with a friend of his friend.
During a break?
Yeah.
And what did he say? What did he do in response to that?
He just came up to me, he's like, "I know you're out there being a whore." And then basically was saying,
Yeah.
"I know that you've been messing around with him for a while now."
Did that happen?
Yeah, I found out she was talking to one of my friend's friend. Like he was having a conversation and talking about how he got a fat little freak and does anything that he wants, and I hear the name. I'm like, oh,
Fat little
snap.
freak?
Yeah, that's what he was calling. He was disrespecting her, and I was just kind of listening like, oh, snap. Then he said the name, and there's not very many Serenities in our little city. And then I just confronted her about it, found out about it, and yes, I did call her a whore.
But you call me a whore all the time.
Because you're always doing whorish things. It's true.
Do you acknowledge that you guys were on a break every time she would go out and do whatever? Because guys go out and do whatever all the time. Don't nobody call them a hoe. Oh, were you on break when she's doing these things? And isn't that consistent with the rules of the break?
She considers us always on break. Basically, for the past 5 years, she considers us not even together, but we have a 3-year-old son. I'm trying to make this work. I'm constantly trying to make it work. And by me calling her a whore sometimes, just like a relief and letting her, I'm just trying to acknowledge to her, put it in her brain of what her actions are and what the rest of the world considers what she's doing is kind of like a whore.
What about when you had the condoms that you were supposedly holding for? What about that?
He was in a committed relationship and he was trying to
So you bring
go
him
home.
to the house?
I forgot I had him. He just like, oh man, can you hold these for me? I don't want my wife to find out. And then I come home with those in my pocket. She finds them and thought they was mine.
Can I just say this? To the extent that women do what men do, it doesn't make them any worse. And calling a woman a whore does not elicit better behavior. It does not change her mind. But when you verbally abuse someone, you make them small, you make them feel unloved, you make them feel worse, less than, and in fact often may incite immediate gratification through love and from somebody else just because she feels that low and empty. I think you might be driving the bus you're trying to run over her with. And I just want you to let you know that, she has the right to have the sex life that she wants to. If you don't want to be with her, don't be with her. Don't stay with her and beat her up with it. I understand that you have a problem with her parenting, Mr. Frazier, and let's talk about that next. What would you do after learning your partner had multiple sex partners during a break? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. Mr. Frazier, you say you have trouble with her parenting. Tell me about that.
Okay, she's addicted to social media. I'm talking about it's her life. That's all she does all day. Before she even gets out of bed, she's on the phone. Before she even tends to the kids or anything in the morning, she's on her phone. She be on her phone, the kid come and ask her a question. She ignores the kid to do it on her phone. Then she'll snap at the kid. You know what I mean? Like really rude to everybody and all the kids over her phone. She don't never have her kids. She's always pushing her kids off on her grandpa, and I don't think that's right.
Ms. Grimes, is that accurate?
That is not accurate, not even a little bit, not even the social media part. I'm not even a social media freak. I have a Facebook, and I don't even get on it ever. And I have like 4,000 plus friends. I don't even get on there. Snapchat, I barely get on that. I don't even know what he's talking about. And then snapping at the kids, I don't snap at them just because they ask me a question. And he's sitting here acting like he's there all the time, but he does nothing for the kids at all. Like, what are you talking about? You're trying to say I never have my kids, but who's been there with Isaias since day one?
You don't ever have your kids.
Are you two living together?
Yeah.
How
He
long
stays
have
at
you
my
been living
house.
together? He stays at your house, but you don't consider him your boyfriend? I'm so confused.
That's what I'm saying. Our relationship's complicated. Like, we have a son together, and I work a lot. I go to school, so I do need help, with childcare. Because, like you said, my grandpa can't really care for a 3-year-old. My 9-year-old, he can still help with, because I had her really young, so she's been with them a lot more. But my 3-year-old son, he's with me all the time, and yeah.
Yeah. I hear what you're saying. I'm not sure I really understand what's going on. I don't know if you guys understand what's really going on. But what I do know for sure is both of you have seen a tragedy of such grand proportions, it's hard to wrap my mind around it. And I do want to talk about that. I don't have the time right now, so I'm going to recess this current proceeding, and we will come back and deal with it. This matter is adjourned.
I had the baby in the bed with me, and the next morning, I look in the bed, there's no baby. So I look over at Drew, and then I wake him up, and I'm like, get off my baby. And there was a baby. He was stiff.
My phone was receiving her messages from Messenger. So I started seeing, conversations with other men. I seen some messages talking about, I'm just letting you know I had that abortion.
His verbal abuse is too much. I've always been overweight, but I never seen it until I was with him. And I just can't